Do we live up to God's standards to be worthy to worship Him? That's the question we're going to ask today. And the answer is no. No. Only Jesus does. However, does that discourage you or inspire you? So welcome to Dream Big Today. I'm Cassie, and it's Friday, July 19th. And we are going to talk about Psalm 15 for my new nugget today. And so with that, it starts with a really convicting question. Who may worship Him in His holy presence? Who may enter your presence on the holy hill? Who can go to a sanctuary? Well, it answers it in number 2. Verse 2 says, those who lead blameless lives and do what is right. And this can discourage you or inspire you. And at first when I read it today, I was like, whoa, I'm super far. I'm super far because moment by moment. And I'm so far from His standards. But although that's super true, I do love God. And I realize and accept that Jesus made this ultimate sacrifice for me, for you, for all of us, to be able to be with God. So if I'm even concerned about that question and I feel convicted about that question, do I have the right, by the way I live, to be accepted into His presence? By me feeling something about that question says that I have met God's grace. It says that I'm aware that I'm a sinner needing to be saved. And I know I'm undeserving. Jesus left His heavenly home to have a ministry here on earth, to be flesh like us, but to live a perfect life, to be tempted and succeed in that, to show us that God gives us a way out of that. He died for each one of us. And when we accept His grace, love, and mercy, this turns into an inspiration. So as I work every single day and focus on His word and purpose and plan for my life, it changes how I act. When we go through some of these, refuse to gossip, or speak the truth with sincere hearts, speak evil of their friends, speak out against sin, guide the faithful. Our words as followers share the actions, share our hearts. And when we ask God to create in me a clean heart, O Lord, also another psalm, I love that one, it reflects our relationship with God. How we act, the words we say, how we conduct ourselves shows that we are concerned if we're living up to God's standards. And as we grow in our relationship with God and understand the ultimate sacrifice that it took for Jesus to save us, then we start to want and we see why we should live by His standards, not the world's standards. We're surrounded moment by moment by what the world says we should be or what we should do or what we're battling. But when we understand who we belong to, it motivates us to change our behavior. And it's one of my favorite things to see that I don't have to behave to belong. I already belong, and it motivates me to change. It motivates me to behave differently. So it also matters that not only it's not just about starting this, it's about being a part of it. So if something's happening in my neighborhood and somebody is starting gossip or hearsay about somebody, am I staying there and listening to it? Am I walking away? If there is something that is said about my pastor and I don't even need to know if it's true or not, I'm not listening to it. But when I do, if I do, I'm wrong there too. And I know this. And as we get closer to God, it's like a nudge. Jesus' love will nudge us and tell us where we should be and where we shouldn't be. And I love that when we focus on Him, we get strengthened in that. We start to trust that more. We share it stronger. And we stand firm, which is how this ends. Such people will stand firm forever. I am only able to be with God because of Jesus. Jesus made a way for us to be there. And so it's important. And I think that our enemy dangles this sin in front of us. And as we go to that possibly, or even think of it, if there's even a hesitation, you've thought about it, that's a sin. The answer needs to be no. Nope, not for me, not today. Talk to you later. Sorry, gotta go. So when we see that the enemy is tempting us like that, it is because he has nothing. And he knows the value we have inside. He knows God's value is more than anything we could ever barter for or negotiate with. When we are tempted to do any of these things, which are now aspirations to me, they're inspirations to be aware of, they're red flags. Don't give in to it. Because either way you go, you'll end up stronger. You can get stronger for Him, or you can get stronger toward the enemy. And that is something that we need to be aware of. By trusting Him more, we are strengthened more. And by turning to Him, we can also encourage others. Iron sharpens iron. We all know we fall short every single day, but what do we do with that? Do we go to God or do we hide in shame? The enemy wants us to retreat. And God is asking us to come together. So this gives me a daily standard. And when I fail, I go back to it. So this is a perfect psalm for that. It's inspirational now, not discouraging. So thank you so much for being here. I hope this encourages you to dwell a little bit more in His Word, seeking what He's saying to you, and know that you are incredibly loved and you're being prayed for. Have a wonderful weekend.